We're going to start off this episode a little bit more positive than usual. Because I feel like most times I'm kind of just like complaining about the things that stress me out or complaining about the bad habits I have. But this time, I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit. Because recently, I've been okay. Like, the sadness and anxiety, they've been there a little bit, but for the most part, like I've been at school now for a little bit over a month, and I haven't ever wanted to go back home, so I must be okay, you know? So yeah, the first thing I want to give myself credit for is the fact that I haven't stayed in my apartment as much as I actually expected myself to. Yeah, sure, having classes definitely helps with that. Like I have to go to classes, so that's one reason I'm staying out. But for the most part, even after classes, I'll go out and do something. And on the weekends, at least one thing, you know. I'm not talking like every second of the day I'm out doing something, but I'm at least doing something. And I've got it so like I made my own kind of little personal rule that if I do something on Friday and then I do something on Saturday as well, then I give myself like a break on Sunday where I can just not worry about going out and I can just do homework or something. So my Sundays are awesome. I'm always looking forward to Sunday. It's Sunday today. It's a good day. And the second thing I want to give myself credit for is keeping my apartment together. Like I told you guys about the minimalism type of stuff. It's not like I don't think it's like extreme minimalism. I really don't. I'm just making it easier for myself to kind of keep clean. So the stuff that I'm not using every day, I just kind of get it out of my sight. I've taken some things back home, and I keep things in like the trunk of my car or something, just so it's out of my sight. So last episode when I said that I wanted to keep clean and stuff, I was just kind of theorizing. Is that how you pronounce that? Hold on. Theorizing. I think that's it. Theorizing, yeah. But pretty much I had a theory that if my place is clean, then I'll kind of feel, I won't have that feeling of I need to do something. Like if I had, a huge pile of dishes, I would always think that I need to go do dishes, but then I would never get myself to do it because it's just so much work. The pile is gigantic. I'm not actually going to do it, but I'm always going to think that I need to do it. And then when somebody calls me to hang out or texts me to hang out, I end up mostly just ignoring them or not answering the phone because I just have this belief that there's something else I need to be doing besides hanging out with this person. And, so far I think that theory is like kind of working. Like now the only time I actually have to do something is like a quick trip to the trash to take out the trash. Like that's nothing, honestly. And it's like once a week. And I have like a couple dishes. It takes 2 seconds and I'm done. Everything's tidy, and then, for the most part, when someone texts me to hang out or some opportunity comes about, I don't feel like I have to do something. I usually feel kind of like I have peace of mind and I can just go do whatever it is. And then one more thing I want to give myself credit for. Before coming to school here, I told myself that I would accomplish these couple things. One was joining a couple clubs actually. I wanted to join a lot, but I knew that was a stretch. So I wanted to join a couple. And another thing was there was a couple friends that I already knew that went to this school. So I wanted to make sure that I at least reach out to them and try to, keep the friendship alive and hang out with them and stuff. For the club part, I'm in the board game one I was talking about before. I've missed a couple of the meetings because, there's been days when I just wasn't feeling it at all. Wasn't feeling like being social at all. So, there's days that I've skipped it. But for the most part, I've gone. Like the last couple of weeks, I've gone. So, I'm proud of myself for that. I really am. And then the second one's like a music type of club. It's like a technology and music type of thing. It's like engineering. I don't know. I'm not gonna explain it that much. The point is that I joined the club and I've been going and I've been trying to participate and contribute to what we're doing. And then as for the friends, one of the people I was talking about is actually one of my really good friends that I've known since middle school. So he was like the main person I wanted to make sure I reached out to, and I have reached out to him. There was, I think, 2 or 3 other people that I wanted to reach out to, and I really haven't done that. I've sent all of them like a text and stuff, but I haven't been consistent with it. But it's okay. The one friend that I really wanted to, I've done it, and I'm kind of being consistent with it. Almost like at least once or twice a week I've hung out with them, and I'm trying to keep that relationship alive. Oh, and actually there's another thing that I want to give myself credit for. I want to give myself credit for actually seeking out the resources that are on campus. Because at the last school that I transferred from, all I did, I just went to class and came home. I never even looked for anything that would interest me. So yeah, in the past couple weeks, I found out that this school will let you borrow some pretty high quality microphones. Like that's what I'm using that's what I'm recording on right now. It's a pretty nice microphone. Like I hope the sound quality is good right now. I think it sounds like it's pretty good. And also I'm recording in this this multimedia room, like a private room that you can reserve. It's got dual monitors. Like I'm staring at dual monitors right now. It's super nice. Like this is almost perfect. This is amazing that this exists here. And if I let the anxiety get to me, I'd never know that this place exists, because I never would have gone up to figure out how to obtain this. I had to go through a little an orientation class in order to be able to make reservations of the room, so I had to suck it up for a little bit in order to have something like this. So this goes out to all the college students that are listening to this podcast. You should really go look for the resources that that are included in your tuition. Because you're probably paying for a lot more than just the classes. You just gotta ask around about it and then get it. All right, I feel like that's enough of the credit stuff now. Because there's still a lot to be done. Still a lot I need to work on. I'm still struggling. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm still trying different things and seeing what works and what doesn't. So I think it's time to start talking about some of the relationships I have at this school. And mostly it's just a relationship. It's not really a friendship, I'd say. Most of the people I talk to at this school, our relationship stands somewhere in between an acquaintance and a good friend, somewhere in that area in the middle. I don't know what you call that. Because listen, if I had made friends already, I would be trying to tell you guys exactly how I did it. right now. But it's never been that easy to make friends for me. So, and I know earlier in the episode I told you about the kid that I wanted to keep in touch with because we were pretty good friends. What I really mean is we've known each other for a long time, and there were times when we were pretty good friends, but then stopped talking for a while, and then all of a sudden we're good friends again. It's kind of just like an up and down type of relationship, I feel like. But obviously I still want to try to be friends with him because I know it's possible for us to be good friends, so, why not? But I also really want to talk about the fact that I've been hanging out with this kid for since this school year started, since the semester started. And I still feel like we're not really becoming good friends. Like I don't feel a progress of the relationship. Cause I don't know, maybe he could probably think that we're good friends, but I don't consider myself to be good friends with someone until I don't feel anxious at all when they ask me to hang out or I'm hanging out with them. That's what I consider a good friend. Not if they're nice or, I don't know, we play basketball together or whatever. It's strictly judged by if I feel anxious or not. So for the rest of the podcast, I'm gonna try and kind of explain to you guys why I think this relationship is kind of weird and why it's not progressing. But also it's kind of hard to tell stories about people in my life because I don't want to include their names in it. So I gotta decide to do something. You know what? I think, and I apologize for not ever really wanting to share personal things, but I think I'm gonna have to use some fake names for the people in my life. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna use The Office character names in place of the names of the real people in my life. So for this first kid that I said was, a good friend or someone that I wanted to make sure I kept in touch with, we're gonna call him, he's gonna be Jim. Now the people in my life are not gonna have anything to do with the characters. Like, I'm not saying this kid is anything like Jim from The Office, okay? It's just a name. I'm just gonna use Jim as his name. That's it. Jesus, I'm really extra. This is a lot right now. But let's get into it. We're gonna start with Jim. It's just so like you guys can follow the stories better. Like I feel like if I give names to people instead of just calling them like this kid, I feel like it's easier to follow stories. So that's why I'm doing it. And also keep in mind that I probably suck at telling stories because I don't have much experience with it because I barely talk to people. So yeah, bear with me. This first one's not even really a story. It's just kind of like my thoughts on the friendship and like what I've noticed about people or Jim in particular. So Jim is like probably one of the smartest kids I know and also one of the funniest kids I know. And that's probably like how we became friends in the first place. I mean, I appreciate anyone with a good sense of humor, and I'm gonna laugh if someone says something funny. I usually can laugh about it, I think, most times. But anyway, a lot of like the jokes he makes comes from like just commenting on someone else's behavior or what someone else has just said. He'll make like funny comments about it. Let's just say he's got the roast. If someone like messes up or something, he's got a comment for it. So like if you're hanging out with them, you kind of gotta watch yourself. I feel like if you mess up, everyone's gonna know about it because he's gonna point it out, and he's gonna turn whatever you just did into a joke that everyone's gonna be laughing about. So as you can probably tell already, this is where most of my anxiety comes in with this relationship right here. Because when I have to like think about what I'm going to say, most of the time it turns out that I won't say anything. So that was just kind of like the struggle I usually had to deal with when I'm, hanging out with him. And honestly, you don't have to tell me twice. I know that I'm a super sensitive person. Like, for fuck's sake, a man is really not supposed to be this sensitive. Because if Jim if Jim were to, I don't know, call me out after saying, and it's happened a lot. Like, I mess up a lot. And when it happens, it doesn't matter how hard I try, I'm going to get bothered by it. It's going to bother me. And I can, try to laugh it off. Like, I can try to. It doesn't happen, though. Like, I can't. I'm not good at laughing at myself. Sure, yeah, I can laugh when he's mocking other people. Then I can laugh at it. I'm a horrible person. But when it comes time that the roast turns on me, it's like I'm done. Way too much anxiety, honestly. And I feel like when I come upon like situations like that, my mind tries to like keep me from entering situations like that ever. So I'll keep replaying times when, he's made a comment about me in front of like a group and, get some laughs or whatever. I'll keep replaying that in my mind. It'll keep me from wanting to go hang out with him again. Even though he's super fun to hang out with. He's got the greatest sense of humor, and I love the jokes that he makes. And I'm always having, like, I always still have fun when I'm hanging out with him. But there's still the stress. There's still the anxiety, and my mind does not want me in that position. So, I don't need to be angry at this kid because he's a good friend of mine. But the anger still will linger there, I feel like. So that's why I feel like we've always been through those times where we're just not talking much, because I'm always afraid to go hang out with him again, because I always have to watch what I say. I always have the chance that he'll say something that everyone laughs at me for, even though it's just a funny little joke that I should be able to get over. And I think after a while, Jim kind of noticed that this stuff was kind of bothering me, and overall he kind of makes me uncomfortable, yet I still like enjoy his company. But yeah, he could probably tell that he makes me uncomfortable. And then after he like realized this, like, I feel like he started to refrain from like making jokes. Like, we still share laughs all the time, don't get me wrong about that, but I feel like he's almost watching what he says now. It doesn't even feel like him anymore, like the real him. Like, I feel like he's not being real around me anymore because he's worried that I'll get bothered by, or I'll be a sensitive little prick again and now hang out with him or something like that. So it's just like one of those situations. I don't know. And I don't know. I feel like a tension every time I'm hanging out with him, which he may or may not even feel. He might not feel a tension. It might just be me that's thinking that. And I couldn't ever imagine myself like confronting him about what like is going on in my head. Like, I feel like that's just gonna make things more awkward. So I'm just kind of stuck. And I feel like that it's just gonna be something that I deal with. Because in the end, he's like one of the only friends I have at this school. And ultimately, is fun to hang out with. Even though it's sometimes awkward, I'm just gonna keep on going and try to, hang out with him once or twice a week. And the weird thing is, like, next year I'm planning to have a house with this kid. So I feel like in this relationship, there's a lot of pressure to like remain friends. And that's also something that makes it kind of weird. I don't deal with pressure like that. Like, imagine if something were to happen, a conflict arises, and, we end up not being friends anymore. Then I have to somehow get out of the lease that I've already signed to live with him for next year during school. Imagine that. So yeah, I just feel this pressure a little bit. And that is like the basis of gym. There's not really that many other relationships to talk about. Gym is a big one. That's like I said, one of the only friends I have here right now. So I mean, I think I've got some other stories to tell, which will continue in another episode. If you guys think that talking about the relationships I have is fun to listen to, then you can just let me know. I'll probably try to include more. So yeah, let's try to end more positive now, since we've just talked about kind of a negative type of thing. I don't know. I want to thank everyone again for messaging me. I've had a lot of messages, and honestly, I can't wait to read more of them. So I hope you guys are still listening. I'm sorry that I keep saying that I'm going to post super soon, and then it takes me a while to... Oh, I got to talk about that a little bit too, actually. Because I told you guys that I have the apartment to myself, and I'd probably record more. But you know what's been bothering me? The fact that I can hear the people like across the hall on either side of my room. Like, I can hear them. So I feel like if I'm recording, they can hear me recording. I don't know. That's what bothers me, and that's why I haven't been recording. It's probably ridiculous, but that's the reason. It's the reason why I'm at this media station workroom that I was talking about, the private room thing, which people in the hallway can probably hear me. But I don't know, it's easier in here to record because, I don't know, the people out there, I won't have to see them again. If they heard me, it might give me a weird look through this little window that's on the door, but ultimately I'm probably never going to see those people again. But when it comes to my room, I'm probably going to see them every time I have to come out of my room to go to class or something. So I don't know, that's the stuff that bothers me. So again, I'm going to say that I think I'll probably start recording more. But I mean, I don't even know if you can trust me at this point. Can't even trust myself, goddamn. But I mean, I've been trying to make consistent reservations at this place. I've been working on this episode for a while now in this room, so I think if I can just get into a habit, I'm going to try to release more episodes. So just, stick with me, and if it's helping, really stick with me, because from here I'm only going to try to improve on the podcast. I'm trying to, hopefully the sound quality is a lot better right now in this episode, because I feel like sound quality is one of my biggest things about this that I want to improve. I want to make it sound as good as possible for you guys. Some of you guys have been even trying to help me out in the messages. You'll give me tips and everything, and I love that stuff. I really appreciate it. I wish I could give you guys as good of tips as you've been giving me. But you guys' tips are really good, so it's hard to beat. I'm trying though. Thanks for listening, guys. Come back for the next episode, because that one's gonna be the best one I've ever made. I guarantee it. I'm kidding. I don't know how it's gonna be.